Yeah, so as similar enough to a lot of guests that I've had on, I've said to them, oh, I'm dying to have you on for a while, but I legitimately have been dying to have you on for a while.
This for so long,
and it's just like I haven't had much schedule because of the COVID and because of everything else. But weirdly enough, I've been too busy a lot of the times to record anything. I'm just making sure them bottles aren't shining.
No, how much editing goes into each one of these, like.
It's actually not too bad if I dedicate the day to it and I just chill. Most of the time I don't have to edit much because like when like say if we like make a joke or something and then like or if we're stopping for a second and someone's checking their phone, sometimes that's not really necessary to edit. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like it's just exactly that's what it is. Because I don't want it to look like a big like fucking transitions and hey guys we're back with another video. Like do you know what I mean? This Americanized YouTube shit. It's what in my opinion a podcast is, as I've said many times to people, is watching a few people chilling out and having a chat. It's not an interview. Do you know what I mean? That's why a lot of people think it's an interview and they have to I never write out questions for any of the guests that are on. I just chill and talk like I would if I seen you in a pub and I haven't seen you in a while, because that's the best way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for the viewer, I'm sure anyone who watches this knows the two of you. But imagine if they don't. How did you get into? How did Apex come about? How did it start?
Well, I think there's a number of factors. Like originally, like we obviously went to school together. Yeah. We all did, but we ended up in college together. Somehow made it into college. And then we were training in the little gym that was underneath the college. SV Fitness, the GOAT, some would say,
the best gym in North Ireland.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
If you know it, then you know what we're talking about.
You know, if you don't.
And we were just training one day, chilling out as usual, benching 200-300 kg as you do.
Yeah,
and,
for warm-ups.
For warm-ups.
Exactly, I was only about to say that.
And and we were sitting there, we were wearing, I think, I don't know, you had a Nike t-shirt on or something, and I think the logo was falling off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it was something along the lines.
And it was just something like, why don't we, just briefly, like, why don't we do something like that?
Yeah.
Like, why are we paying 40 quid?
Exactly. There was a number of factors that came into it as well, I find. It was kind of like, the fit on this t-shirt is great, but there's certain things like the change about it, and obviously you can't do that because like the brand makes their own kind of clothes, you know what I mean? So we thought to ourselves, like, why not make the changes ourselves? Why not bring out our own stuff which is similar to what we like, but make the changes that we feel necessary and other people that like as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I think as well, similar to a lot of things, I think it was like, was it at the start kind of, like, did you say it as a laugh and then realise, like, hold on, we could actually fucking do this? Was it kind of like, yeah, we should bring our own, and then be like, hold on, this is doable? Like,
Kinda, yeah. Like at the start, I think we were kind of like, we could do it. We could. But then the more we thought about it, and the more we were kind of like, right, how would we actually go about it? The more realistic the idea actually started to become, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean? And the more we were actually thinking like, right, we could actually go ahead and do this, you know?
Yeah, no, that's sick. And it's like, you've come a huge way. Especially, I can remember when you set up, if I can remember correctly, you set up the Instagram page before you brought out any releases, didn't you? And I can remember you put up the logo and you were like, big things coming and that, and I was chuffed because I loved seeing local lads doing stuff like that.
But you do see a lot, and you're like, is this actually going to happen?
100%. No, 100%. And I'm sure a lot of people thought when I done my first episode of this that I was gonna just stop. Do you know what I mean? Which I have stopped a few times for a number of weeks, and I've thought, is there much point in going back? But then someone messages me and says, any episode this week, and that's all it takes to get me back on, because I fucking love doing this. You know what I mean? Because anyone who knows me knows that I don't shut the fuck up talking. So it's great. Exactly. So exactly, it's perfect. Like. But,
I like the way that you said it just takes that one piece of motivation to kind of keep you going, because especially in today's society you get a lot of people who kind of like say, who would see someone doing something different and they're like, they put you down rather than bring you up, you know what I mean?
Man.
But I feel that like that one person who kind of says to yourself like, they support it or they like what you're doing, that should be enough. And I find for us that's a huge thing as well.
Huge thing,
because there's a lot, like there's times where I say like we go quiet because of obviously the long process it takes to actually get what we're doing out, and people, they think, it's gone stale, nothing's happening, they stop believing in it, they stop following it, whereas other people are saying, when's the new drop? When can we expect
exactly.
new? You know what I mean?
We are, like, we're a team of two, you know?
Yeah.
And like there's on, like, we work hard, we do, we're both working full time, we're in college, so we try our best, but like each product that we bring out, it has to be tested. Do you know what I mean? Like it might not look like it, but we're wearing it for weeks. We're washing it. Yeah. We're stretching it. We're seeing how it holds up. Yeah. The girl stuff as well. You know, we need girls to test them.
Yeah.
Swap proof,
you like wearing girls' clothes in the gaff. You were telling me before. You like wearing girls' clothes in the house.
Absolutely. That's how it started.
Yeah.
That's how we walked in and I was sitting a bra and leggings. And he was like, that looks great. And he was like, why don't we bring our own out?
I just said to myself when I seen him, I was like, this is my wet dream. I just
thought the fit was well, but his arse just didn't look well enough, and I didn't know if you had to do more. more squats.
Support.
Exactly. All the I have to support the pecs. No, but no, that is good. It's class as well, and I think it's important. It's similar enough to what I was talking to when Benny Mac was on, Dylan McBennett when he was on, about negativity and kind of negative kind of effects that people have on you, and it's sort of like if you look at a comment section. Naturally, our fucking minds, if we look at a comment section and it's 99 positive comments and one negative one, we'll concentrate on the one negative one.
But I do agree, yeah.
But really what we should be doing is we should try to rewire ourselves to, if it's majority negative and one positive, look for the positive. Do you know what I mean? Is that staying up?
Yeah,
no,
chance.
But
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was an effect. That was an effect. That was a transition.
Star swipe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, just on that topic of negativity as well. Like, I feel like a lot of people kind of need to realize, like, something that we're doing, especially even with your podcast, like, it's not easy. A lot of work does go into it.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't feel the need why people need to kind of say, well, I kind of understand, like, why they need to feel the need to leave those negative comments. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the reason people do that is because they're thinking, like, right, this is a lad I went to school with, and he's here doing this, and he's gone great places. What am I doing?
I'm in an apprenticeship that I hate. Do you know what I mean? That's
You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. And I think it's like, it's sort of like, as I said with Dylan as well, and I said with previous guests, Ireland is a very begrudging, jealous place. Do you know what I mean? It's a
100%.
very begrudging, jealous place. People,
Spiteful, yeah.
Big spiteful, exactly. It's like, even when you talk to, like, and it goes up to the older age groups as well. Like, if you talk to L1s and Alphalas, 99% of the things that you hear from them is, I think I'm mad doing that.
Yeah.
To a lot of things.
Man,
you know
we
what I mean?
got so much that, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I know we're concentrating on the negative aspects. Like, our customer basis could not be more supportive.
Yeah.
I'm not messing. Like, when we bring something out, like just people, that's lovely, that's really nice. I think there was a lot of skepticism at the start about, like, you know, it's not going to fit. It is cheap, you know, crappy products that, and just when people started actually buying them, started seeing the feedback, they're holding up, like, I know it's kind of cringy, but like, t-shirt is for life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look how well this one is, and it's pristine. You
Exactly.
Know? It's like 6-7 months old now or something.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
Do you know
that looks new.
And it looks new. Like, so that's what we're trying to preach. Like, you don't have to pay €50 for this Nike or Nike half zip.
That'll last a month.
That lasts a month, and you know, it might get faded and stuff.
Yeah.
You can, you know, find other brands, support locally. You know,
exactly, big time. Yeah, and I think there's a big focus recently as well on supporting local enterprises.
Which is lovely to see.
Yeah, it's great to see with the COVID and stuff like that. Obviously, I'd say, did that have much of an impact on the business itself? Like, did it?
Majorly. I feel like
big time.
At the start, don't get me wrong, with business, and especially like getting into business at such a young age, because keep in mind, when we started this, we were both only like 20 years of age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we were both hitting 21, but like, when we started this, we're thinking, like, right, we're 20 years old here, and we're going out to do something that most people kind of put years of, like, thought into, put years of study into, big to time. Say, like, right, I started around 25, 26 years of age, or whatever, you know what I mean? There's no real age limit to when you have to start a business. But like, a lot of people are just thinking, these lads are so young, are they going to be able to manage it? Are they going to be able to think? A lot of people, you know, just thinking, like, a lot, like,
very doubtful.
Not a lot of people thinking, like, oh, these lads could actually come out and bring something great out.
Yeah, of course.
Which I feel like in the last, like, we're only in business a year as well, which is mad to think. I just feel like
accomplished a lot in a year, like,
in the year that we've been through, especially with the whole COVID thing and all, we've brought out some amazing products, and we brought out some products that could compete with the likes of, say, I don't mean to give any shout outs there, but like the likes of Nike, the likes of Under Armour. You know what I mean? I feel like
Nike and Under Armour now are going to be like, that's it, we're soon the show talk.
That's it, gone. Apex Lifestyle's in the train. But no, the positive comments is just, I feel like, especially at the start, is really what kept us going and really
sick, man,
push through, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's class. And one thing I was meaning to ask is as well, originally, did you go through, my main issue was thinking that I had something physically wrong with me. That was causing my panic, that was causing my symptoms are causing me to think I had something wrong with me. It was a never ending loop. That's how CBT works. A physical sensation turns into a thought, or a thought turns into a physical sensation, which turns into an emotion. That emotion increases the physical sensation, which reinforces the thought. For example, racing heart, if your heart starts racing, you're like, I'm going to have a heart attack. That creates fear. When you're in fear, your chest gets tight. Do you know what I mean? Your blood rushes from your arms to your core because it thinks you're in danger. So you're in fear, so your body acts responsibly. So then your chest gets tight. But in your head, that reinforces the thought of, I'm having a heart attack. I know I am, which makes you more scared, which makes the symptoms worse, makes the thought worse. Then that's how a panic attack happens, because your body just can't react.
Can't cope with it,
Exactly, goes into fight or flight. That's why if you've ever completely lost your temper, it's the same intensity. It's not a way if you completely lose your temper, it's you see red. It's
control it.
It's that same intensity, but instead of anger, it's fear. Do you know what I mean? That's basically the best way I can describe a panic attack. But now that I understand them, it's a whole different ballgame, because I know there's nothing wrong with me. I know I still deal with my symptoms on a daily basis. I still don't feel the same as I did years ago. Now we're close to it, but I'm a lot closer than I was last year. Do you know what I mean? Going from fucking basically suicidal at the end of last year, because I was like, there's no way I can ever climb out of this, to now doing normal people things is fucking huge.
This as well, like you have to give yourself credit. Like this is what you've put together here. It's a lot more than just, you know, normal people things. It's really good. Like it's a platform, and lots of people in the area, I feel, are actually getting to speak, getting out there, and having a platform to voice themselves. You know. Yeah,
nice one. Yeah, no.
One thing, sorry, just about the thing you said as well. I feel like the whole, like, people going through a horrible time and a rough time. I feel like if you can get through that, it'll catapult you years ahead in life.
Oh, 100%.
Because like that, one of the main reasons that like I kind of devoted a lot of time to Apex when I started was because I went through a horrible breakup at the time, and it really fucking, like, it tested me. Do you know what I mean? Pushed me to the limits. But when you have something like, kind of say like you with the podcast, or Apex, when you have something like that, you can stray away from that energy and put like energy into something new,
positive energy.
You know what I mean? Getting rid of that negative energy, and like it's much easier said than done. You go through horrible stuff, it's playing in your head all the time. But if you can somehow channel that energy to go from negative to positive, and then put it into something good, like, it'll catapult you years ahead in life.
I 100% agree, and I've had this conversation with a few people as well, especially in terms of dealing with mentally challenging things and or mental breakdowns when you're young is very, very, very. It makes you a lot stronger, because like, if you think about it, like, if you had because you see a lot of lads, they go through their teens, they go through their 20s happy as Larry, do you know what I mean? And like, obviously they're the people that you envy when you're going through that horrible time. You're looking at these people just loving life. Well, they mightn't be on the inside, because a lot of people, I know myself, put on a front. Do you know what I mean? So, but you do get people who like go through their teens, go through their 20s, loving it, and then something happens to them in their 30s or 40s, similar to what happened to me or what happened to you. And whatever the situation is, whether it be circumstantial depression or just generalized depression or anxiety or anything, and then they don't have their man, dad, they don't have the kind of you're only young support thing there, and then they end up taking their life because they're like I'm a dad, you know what I mean? Like it's so
they have that whole front on me, like, I have to have this whole strong front, and that like nothing can affect me, for me kids, for the family,
for me big time. I think a lot of lads do feel like that. It's like they, like, I know a lad who I actually play Xbox with, but he lives in England. He was going through a really, really, really bad fucking cycle, bad cycle on the train. Having to put on that front as well, especially a lot of older men or older blokes will have it with the kids, like, and as well, like, I was talking to my therapist about this, and one thing I recommend, and I've said it, I don't know if I've said it on previous podcasts, I've definitely said it in posts. I think therapy itself, and CBT in itself, cognitive behavioural therapy, of how your brain behaves. Now, people think your brain is just one thing, like pick up the vape, smoke the vape. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the back brain, the brain that you can't see happening, the one that gives you the panic attacks, the one that's going on behind the closed door of your mind, essentially, the one that you don't know about, the one that why am I angry for no reason, what's going on. I think therapy should be, especially for young lads, should be normalised in a sense. And I think a lot more girls, if you were to look into statistics, I'd say a lot more girls do therapy than just checking that's card. Yeah,
more comfortable with it. Yeah,
I'd say a lot more girls do therapy than young blokes. You know what I mean? Because obviously we're stigmatized to bottle stuff up, which is well fucking known now at this stage. We're stigmatized as that, but somehow it's still reverted back to and blamed on men. It's like, oh yeah, but that's because of toxic masculinity, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's because of societal norms. You know what I mean? And that you can't turn around and say the over sexualization of females is toxic masculinity, and this is toxic, and everything's toxic masculinity. It's not all toxic masculinity.
It's an easy thing to blame it on.
Exactly, big time. And as Al from the Just Man Up podcast said numerous times, there's positive masculinity, and you need to promote positive masculinity.
100%, yeah.
But as I was talking to my therapist, he was saying that there's two types of anger, really. There's destructive anger and there's constructive anger. And obviously, like, if you're pissed off and you're really angry and you go and then you bust something up, that's not constructive. You'll have to construct the fucking thing after you're done with it. But that's destructive anger. So you're hurting yourself or other things with the anger, but you're portraying that anger out, you're getting the anger out, right? Which is okay. Well, it's not okay, but it is at the same time. And then there's constructive anger, where if you say, no, fuck this, I'm gonna fucking design the shit out of this website out for a few hours, and I'm gonna block everyone else out because fuck everyone else, and you're just flat out doing it, or you're in the gym and you're flat out doing a workout. That's constructive energy and constructive anger. And I think everything revolves around that kind of, either, as you were saying about channeling your energy into something good when you were going through the breakup, I think everything revolves around channeling either positive or negative energy. And I think, like, because in general, like, as a fact, energy can't be made or it can't be destroyed. It can only be redistributed. Like, it cannot be made. You cannot make energy. you can only redistribute it. So supposing you can't make electricity from anything other than other energy, do you know what I mean? Other from static energy or stuff like that, or from the force of water, the force of gravity, anything like that. Same way you can't make positive energy out of thin air. That's what people say. Oh, just think positive. Oh yeah, nice one. Yeah, well, your brain's telling
that's
you
real helpful.
Exactly. It's a lot of people I feel like who haven't gone through a hard time, because like I feel like everyone once in their life will have to go through a horrible time to test them, and I feel like a lot of people who haven't gone through it just think, why is he so depressed? Why can't he just be happy and think positive on the way things are?
Yeah.
But like that's just them being like, I've never had that and rough to go through.
Exactly.
Like that, you know
It's
what I
not
mean?
like people just can't flip a switch up and they're happy, you know. And people think that you can do that. Like people have that in their head, and sometimes it's not their fault, you know.
Exactly.
It is like could be like, as you said, like it's a mental illness. It's something that's physically wrong,
Yeah, exactly.
or mentally wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what you said about normalizing therapy. I actually think it should be like.
Yeah,
there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to open up to someone and talk to people.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to keep it confined in a little bottle and then it explodes as you said, destructive anger.
Yeah.
And sometimes then it explodes at the wrong time. You can't channel it. You
99%
can't
of the time
control
it's
it.
the wrong time,
Do you know what I mean? If it explodes, as you said, you know, in the gym at the right time when you're pulling 200 kg, that's great.
Yeah.
But you know, 99% it is completely at the wrong
exactly.
time.
And I think as well, another thing is, like, if you're sick, you go to the doctor. Yeah,
Exactly.
If you're physically sick, you go to the doctor. If you think you have a mental illness, why are you letting it toxify your brain? Do you know what I mean? Why are you letting the fucking poison seep out into your body? You should go and
Absolutely.
you should kill it, because the thing is as well, and it's so dealing with it is so different to the way you think it's meant to be dealt with as well. It's like sort of like, as you said, like, you didn't start Apex, or you didn't put that bad energy into Apex as a distraction to what you were feeling. You might have thought at the time you did, but you put that in because you knew you had it there and you faced it. And the thing is, that's why when people, and I've talked about this a few times, I hate the tip for panic attacks when people say look at things around the room and count things on your fingers and do this and do that, because that's a distraction method, and distracting yourself from your mental illness is the most toxic thing.
It's a really good point.
Because
100%.
because all you're doing there is you're reinforcing in your brain that it doesn't exist.
Prolonging it more
exactly.
than that, and kind of like slipping it on the long finger, just saying, there's nothing wrong with me, then it comes again.
Exactly, it comes again, but it's stronger because you're like, not you again, I ignored you last time. The first panic attack I ever had where I faced it was the changing point for me. It was about 2 months after I had the initial big one, and I felt it coming on, and I was like, right, here it goes. And I didn't jump up and grab my chest and start running around and start thinking, oh, I'm fucking dying, and God, I need to get out and walk, I need to get some air. I stood up and I just walked over to my bed while my heart was fucking like, it felt like it was spasming. Probably was, because like your heart does weird shit, and some people notice and some people don't. That's why you might notice sometimes your hearts do get extra beats or skipped beats sometimes. You could be just there and it goes and it's fine. Like, it happens to everyone, especially after a lot of caffeine, it'll happen. But to people who with anxiety, they're like, that's the start of a heart attack. Do you know what I mean? But the first one I ever had where I actually faced it was I went over to my bed. I was freaking the fuck out, and I just lied down on my bed and I just went limp. And I was just like, I was at a stage where I was like, almost didn't care if it killed me, sort of. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, if you're a heart attack this time, walk away. Do you know what I mean? And that was, and I'm not joking, usually it takes me about an hour to kind of level out.
Having control over you.
This took 3 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I lie down on the bed and I just let it flow through me, and I was just like, grand. Because that turns off the panic receptors, because when you're fighting it, your brain's in fight or flight. Do you know what I mean? When you're fighting against it, your brain believes that it's dangerous. But when you're not fighting against it and you just let it flow through you, same way a lot with the energy, a lot with the thing, if you have things bottled up and you're fighting it, see, that's what I described it as before, the tree of mental illnesses. That's why my logo was a tree when I first started this. Now it's a mouth because it's just shite talk. But the tree of mental illnesses, because you've got the base of it, right? The base of it is fucking huge cock. You've got the base of it, right? The thing. No, you have the base of it, right? And then this is mental illness, right? Then you've got a branch of anxiety, right? Then you've got a branch of bipolar disorder. Then you've got a branch of depression. Then you've got a branch of split personality disorder, right? And then on each one of them branches, there's little flower buds coming off, which are all different types of it. All while they have something in common as being on the one tree of mental illness. And then under the tree, what you can't see is roots of where it all started. It's all different reasons that you never see and you never thought that it started from there, but it did, and you might not know, and it does. It's a lot like if it's trauma presents itself in very strange and mysterious ways, and of course you can develop a mental illness without any trauma whatsoever. A lot of the time that does happen. I'm sure over 50% of cases have that, but a lot of the time it is trauma related without you realising it. And it's like sort of like why people are afraid of sharks. If they saw Jaws on the telly when they were 3, they can't even remember it. But then they just have this fear of fucking sharks for no reason.
Stems from the past. Yeah.
Exactly. But the back brain or the roots of the tree, as I say, that's where it holds on to, because we need to like. And I know it's kind of very like philosophical and spiritual and stuff like that. I know philosophical and spiritual aren't really related. Well, they are, but it's sort. I know it is quite like that, but it is kind of looking into the inner self and higher self. It's like is insanely like just beneficial for someone, not even just suffering from mental illness, in general, understanding yourself. And I don't mean yourself as in the fella who goes to college and does a course that he likes, he'll make money. I don't mean the fella who likes Heineken instead of cars. I don't mean the fella who likes this type of music. I mean the you in there, you know what I mean? Like, and everyone can reach that point. And I feel like when you're meditating as well, you can connect with that you, and you can turn off all the other shit, and you just enter a state of bliss of like, oh shit, why did I think that mattered? Just relax for now. And that's why I love meditating. I got an acupuncture mat up in the room. I'll show you that after this. Yeah, it's just it's plastic nails, but you lie on it now. The first 30 seconds of it, you're in immense pain on it, and then it just kind of rests into this wave of heat, and it just across your back, and you're just like, oh my god.
Just a whole flow of fucking calmness through the body.
If you do it after a back day, your muscles heal straight away. Like, it's unbelievable. Because it just inflames your whole back. But like while you're resting on it, you can just feel your back kind of just moving with it. It's just amazing.
It's really
interesting. But yeah, I think that's an excellent point. I'm glad you brought it up about channeling you channel your energy into that, because it's like, and it goes back to fucking everything. It's like we're like the area and the society and stuff, they aren't helping young lads by having that negative thing about young lads doing something for themselves or setting something up for themselves, and they are, that fella's a bender, that fella's this, that fella's that, which will be cancelled now for saying the word bender, but it's like it is though. But and I think if we all did just fucking have a more positive outlook on everything,
on life in general,
life in general, and realise what it all means, which is nothing essentially, unless you make it something.
Exactly, yeah.
Then it'll be a much better place, you know what I mean?
Like, you have one shot at it. Why do you want to, kind of critique everything and put people down 100%. when you have the option, which is the better option all around, to bring people up,
100%.
And like positively affect people's lives, which can be the smallest thing that people don't realise. Like, as you said, like earlier, you were like you were dealing with the anxiety and that you didn't really make a podcast for a while, and you got a text or a comment and someone's like, when's the next one? I'm looking forward to it. It's that one little thing, that one thing that fella has done, taken out of his day, that has brought
exactly
motivation to you, so I could say.
I've been trying to do that when I can as well. I've been trying to look at other creators and stuff, and I've been trying to give them that little boost,
that push. You give that fella that one sub, they made, bit of shopping for the week, local business down the corner, a new coffee shop just started up, I'll go to Starbucks. What do? You go to that new coffee shop, you get more of a like quality time, they respect you a bit more goes into that coffee. The same with a business. You say, I'm not going to buy a Nike quarter zip today, I'm going to buy a Apex Lifestyle quarter zip.
These bad boys here.
And
link in the description.
It really does help, like we can come out and say, like, we haven't touched a single profit from this business yet, not 1 ounce, and I'm happy to say that, haven't taken a single euro of personal use, like nothing whatsoever. Every single part of it has been put back into it, because we want to make this big. We don't just want to make it a clothing platform. We want to make it just a general life positivity platform.
To be fair, I don't see us even taking out profits for at least another 3-4 years. Don't get me wrong, because realistically, right, we could take profits out. What's that do to the business? It drains funds from it. What are we going to do then? Like, let's say hypothetical situation, 3 years down the line, we have 250 grand in the business. Right, Jake, let's go and get a bleeding expensive sports car each, and you know what, let's get rent up in an apartment then again.
Business gone, months. What's the point?
Business gone, and then that's 250 grand. We're like, where are we going to get 250 grand from? Nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
The thought process I'd like to see from it is just snowball it while we can. And now, keep in mind, we haven't had any investment from anywhere. There's been talk of it, but like at the moment, it's not really like the best kind of situation. I feel like we'd rather, at the moment, we can do it ourselves. We're snowballing as we have been. We've never kind of taken a step back. We've always kind of been moving forward with it. So for the time being, I feel like we have it under control. If we ever were to go into an investment, you never know. Maybe we might take a little bit of cheese out and treat ourselves. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
But for the time being, I feel like the way we're doing it now will be the most beneficial, especially in a few years' time. As to where we were to say, like, now I would take a bit out for ourselves and then throw it back in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like that would be beneficial in the long term.
That's an excellent mindset. That's the mindset you need to have, and the fact that you're not it's kind of ironic with the name of the company and your kind of thing with the things. It's with the t-shirts and stuff. It's a lifestyle. You're not doing this because it's a business money bag. You're not making a cash cow here. You're trying to make a lifestyle. You're trying to make
the best version of yourself possible.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
You're trying to make in 10 years down the line, this will be your full-time job. 5 years it could be your full-time job. Happy fucking days. But the way you're looking at it is you're looking at it from the right point of view. As your man Gary Vee always says, and I talk about him a lot in the podcast because he does make a lot of good points. He kind of has a no bullshit attitude. He's like, no, you're young, you don't have excuses type of thing. He's like, if you have a dream, he goes, if you're good at something, double down on that thing you're good at. I mean, that's why I left an engineering course, because I wasn't good at engineering. I was passing the exams by the fucking skin of my teeth, and then I fucking hated it. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't good. I'm a people's person. I like comedy. I like talking to people. That's my thing. Do you know what I mean? I would have rather, and I was working in an engineering office, plugging away on the computer, and that all that shit contributed into the anxiety stuff and all. But as he said, he's like, if you're looking at something for like a quick fix or quick money, he's like, stop. Do you know what I mean? Just stop, because he's like, there's no point in it. Do you know what I mean?
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a quick fix.
Exactly.
Buy a lotto ticket.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, buy a lot. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. Buy a lotto ticket.
If you want to do that, then buy a lotto ticket. But that's what I was meant to ask is, without going into like obviously I don't want to ask you too much personals, but did it take initially much investment out of your own pocket? Or
I'll happily share it. I don't really mind.
Like you can throw it in. Like,
what was it, 1,200 quid originally?
Probably.
About that. Well, to be fair, with the cost of like, see, a lot of people just think, right, if anyone knows the ins and outs of how a business works, and especially how a textile company works, they think like, oh, it's so cheap, they get it so cheap. People don't take into consideration the sampling process, logos, sizing, redoing sizing,
shipping
the
length of time it takes.
they don't do all that for free either.
No, everything they do and everything you want to make a change on costs money.
We can give you an example, like say our first t-shirt we brought out, we still have it hanging up into the room to this day, right? To get that, like,
should have brought it.
We should have brought it. It is a full-on belly top. Like, I mean, like,
fits
under boob is clear as day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is hilariously small. We got the measurements completely wrong. It started with me and him, like, with a measuring tape.
I remember the day the first sample came, and I text Jake and I was like, Jake, they're here. I've never seen someone get down to from Harmstown to Darndale so quick in my life. So he comes down to the gaff, and I'd say about 5 seconds flat. Walks in the door. Hadn't opened them. I was like, oh, get down here, we'll open them. Open them. He puts his on. Decent fit. I put mine on. It's at me tits, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were like, oh no. I was depressed out of the head, not gonna lie to you. Well, I wasn't depressed out of the head, but like, when I said it, and it was disappointing to see. But like, we knew ourselves, it's not like, right, this isn't the end of it. Do you know what I mean? We said, like, all we have to do is make slight changes, blah blah blah. Done these changes again. Had to repay the whole thing. It's not as if like he was like, oh, I'll do these changes for you for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Redone the whole
They're
thing.
the business too. Yeah.
Exactly. They have to make money.
Yeah.
So we were thinking like, oh, we'll redo it all. Redone it all in the end. Redone the measurements. Made what we had to do, and it came out. Now we had to order the sample again, obviously, because you weren't going to bulk order without testing. You know what I mean?
Came out okay, but
don't get me wrong, right? It was good. It was a good first starting point. There's always things you can improve on, and that's something I live by. Is that you'll never kind of stick in the one place and never kind of be happy with what you have. A lot of people will say like, oh, that's just great, but I feel like if you're happy with what you have, you'll never go to where your full potential is. If you're always looking to better yourself and to better what you're doing, you'll go miles. Do you know what I mean?
It's a greedy world too. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Remember, do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you don't, someone will.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if we could have just said there, oh, this is a great. Let's just copy and paste what we done and make a different design. You know what I mean?
But each design has been its own and it's been different. Only thing that stayed the same is the logo.
That's
it.
Yeah.
Everything
Every
else
single, like even the feel on t-shirts.
Yeah, big time. You can even notice the difference of them. Like, and I love that design. Kind of. What would that be called?
Now say it's like, I don't know the actual name for it. I wouldn't say it's camo. It's kind of like. It's like two different colours stitched in the same. It's kind of like a digital kind of, yeah.
It's like it's kind of, it's a bit like elastane, and some spandex and cotton. Like that's the type of kind of mix that it is. Yeah. But that's another thing, like picking your materials. Took us ages, you know. If you want sweat proof, if you want, you know, stretch proof, you have to go for certain materials. You don't want it too tight. Then you have your thickness of each material. You know, there's over like 15 different measurements in a t-shirt. Like you wouldn't even notice it. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people just think, oh, the order is so small to get it in. They sell it. Do you know what I mean? It's such a workload to actually get it done. But at the end of the day, we love it.
We do love it, yeah. It's so interesting. And just seeing something like you made yourself, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And brought from scratch. It's nice to see. And that people obviously love it as well as the most important thing. But
just as you said earlier about doing something that makes you happy, I think Tony, when he was on, touched on it as well. The fact that we're doing something that we're interested in, like the both of us obviously have a huge interest in the gym. The fact that we're doing something that we both actually like and we enjoy, and like we both like it, we both enjoy the gym. This is related to it, so I feel like it's something that we're never going to kind of lose interest for, because a lot of businesses fail. A lot of people say like, 98% of businesses fail for the one reason that people lose interest in it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I feel because this is something that we're kind of really interested in, haven't lost interest in it at all so far. I feel like it's something that we're going to stick by for a long time, and it's not something that we're going to one day just say, we just scrap that, will we? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you'll always be training. Do you know what I mean? So,
lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Like that's exactly it. And I think two things I just want to touch on as well. Firstly, I think the quality of your material is, if you compare it to like a company similar to you, that the only one I can think of off the top of my head would be Alphalete. Would be similar enough to you, Alphalete Athletics. And I think quality wise, you're touching on them at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
I believe we are, yeah.
100%. Like, definitely. And it's like, especially when you compare it to first years, do you know what I mean? Like, and as well, and then obviously Gymshark are very repetitive. Do you know what I mean? Gymshark, I feel they are very repetitive.
Stuff. A different day, yeah.
I think if you looked at their analytics, I reckon that their sales went down awful lot in the past 5 years. Everyone used to be wearing Gymshark. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, because they were bringing out new things. They were bringing out new tops. They were bringing out new fits. Everything was great looking. The MyProtein clothing brand and all, as well has kind of gone downhill a little bit.
I think MyProtein has plummeted like so far down.
Clothing wise,
like,
definitely.
I'm not trying to shit on other companies. Like Gymshark's great. Like they came from nothing as well.
Yeah.
But like MyProtein, I used to have their stuff, and again the logo would be peeling off. I'm paying 40-50 quid for a pair of buttons. Why? What's the point?
Bulk Powders took over from them completely.
Yeah. I feel like, don't get me wrong, MyProtein has its own market. You know what I mean? Like they have the UK supplement market on lock.
Yeah.
Clothing wise, I feel like the only reason I kind of went for clothing is just to spice it up. You know what I mean? To kind of say like, we're not just offering supplements, we can offer clothing here as well, which a lot of businesses do. They kind of hit a stagnant point and they're saying like, we need to spice things up. Yeah, people aren't buying as much clothing, or people aren't like, they need something new. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they done well during their time, but I just feel like now stick to their supplements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think as well, another thing I wanted to touch on as well is the fact that you said about doing something that you like, and I think as well it kind of ties into what you were saying about not wanting to make something a cash cow as well. I think the two of them tie in together. Most people, when they get into something just for the sole purpose of making money out of it, they never had that crazy fanatic interest in it before. They never did. They always just thought about money. So that's why it fails easy, because it's easy to stop something that you were not really passionate about, but because you've been passionate about training, you've been passionate about the gym for years. You know what I mean? And it's and obviously it shows. And then when you convey that passionatism, what's the
you see our passion,
say that love.
Yeah. When you convey that love for training into just another aspect of the gym, which is gym clothes, which is fucking huge. I mean, people are wearing gym clothes now. I'm wearing
in the gaff to the gym. They're comfy.
A lot of people just say, you have to wear gym clothes in the gym, but yeah, you see girls walking around in Nike leggings, Nike tops. You'd see us even cruising around, like, we're not wearing Apex, which is very rare to be fair.
Very rare, yeah.
We'd have say like an Under Armour shorts with like a top or something. You know
very rare.
It's like it's not just fitness wear; it's kind of lifestyle and fitness wear. You know what I mean?
If you're if you're going down the road in the winter in a stringer top, you're gonna look like a fucking east.
It's very
yeah. You know what I mean? But fucking
cutting glass.
Yeah.
Scraping car doors as you walk past.
That is a good point. That's the thing about the gym as well, is like it can improve mental health a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what you were talking about earlier.
Do you find that like obviously you come from like, you know, bit of mixed martial arts, kickboxing stuff in the background?
Sorry,
just got a shoving off the chair.
I thought it was fun.
I thought he was having the Tourette's episode.
I thought he was gone for you. I was like,
stop.
In boxing way, yeah. Show me what you can do. But like, do you feel like that? I know, obviously, like going to the sports and stuff might be a bit kind of an anxious thought, but do you think that it does help
100%.
in the long run? Like
a million percent.
Yeah.
I think movement in general helps. I think performing the way you're supposed to perform in a human body, which is moving and which is like gathering. Do you know what I mean?
Exercise.
You know what I mean? Like exercising.
Bettering yourself.
Using our hand for cardio. That's why when I first started, when I was first very, very like in a really bad place, like when I walked up the stairs, I'd have palpitations after I walked up the stairs. You know what I mean? So then I remember going for the jog one day, and my heart rate must have went up to 220. I'd say when I was on the jog, because I said it to my therapist. I was like, "What happened?" Blah blah blah. He goes, "James, you've been inactive for 4 months." He goes, "And you went for a jog." He goes, "Obviously, your heart's gonna be like, what the fuck is going on?"
It's a normal thing, yeah.
Exactly. So I was just like, so then so what? I still can't do any vigorous exercises because, again, all my anxieties are around my heart. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna have a heart attack. Blah blah blah. So I can't do any vigorous exercises, but exercise as a whole, whatever type of exercise it may be, is amazing for mental health. It's like the 3 pillars of...
I 100% agree,
the 3 pillars of mental health is exercise, diet and sleep. They're the three pillars of mental health, but weirdly enough, they're the 3 pillars of getting in good shape too.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Which is really weird, because mind and body goes hand in hand, and it's they're going to share yourself again. But like, mind and body goes hand in hand. Like it's the same with everything. You have to treat both, but you have to treat both respectfully and both well. But at the same time, treating one well often complements the other. 9 times out of 10, it complements the other. Do you know what I mean?
I was only going to say, I know there is ways to treat the mind as well, but I feel like training the body indirectly trains the mind as well.
Big
you know
time,
what I mean?
big time.
It teaches you, like, how do I say, dedication. It teaches you how to, like, stick to something. It teaches you as well, like, resilience. If you have a bad day in the gym, your mind might be actually thinking, oh, like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? In the same way that if you have a really good day, you'll feel great for the whole day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there are positives to it, but there are negatives that some people, like, wouldn't mention as well. You know what I mean? Like, 100%. I feel like one thing that isn't touched on at all whatsoever. Have you ever heard of bigorexia?
Bigorexia.
It's like the opposite to anorexia. So, like, you know the way some people think, like, I'm not skinny enough, I need to get skinnier, I need to get skinnier. Some people who suffer with it would say, like, I'm not big enough. You'd look at them and you'd say, Jesus, you're a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But they'd be looking in the mirror and they'd be saying, I'm tiny, I need to get bigger.
Rich
I need to get bigger.
definitely had that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People
Kill
who
them.
exactly.
Yeah.
People who take copious amounts of steroids and fucking, like, don't get me wrong, do whatever you want to do with your life. But I feel like doing that just for the sake of being big and not having any goal to work towards is
so detrimental to your
and
health.
exactly, and
Yeah.
you're putting your own body and your mind at risk, because we don't know, but steroids can do horrible things to your body and your mind. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, it's look, we go through puberty at a certain age. You a bit later, but we go through puberty at a certain age, and we get these rush of hormones, right? And we grow and we get big. We're not meant to go through another puberty. So when you put in another course of pubescent hormones into you, testosterone, fucking even estrogen, because like a lot of people end up with gyno who end up on the steads, who don't do, even if they do post-cycle treatment, they still end up on the gyno because their fucking estrogen shoots up through.
Might never go back to normal even, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Gyno can't, if you get gyno, the only way to get rid of it is surgery, like, because you're growing boobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gyno is literally, it's like a girl growing a pair of tits and trying to work them off. Do you know what I mean?
Does not
exactly,
happen. Like,
yeah. Fucking, but yeah, so there's that. There's the physical effects, but also there's the mental effects. I think, like, as people, like, you're made a certain way, whether it be by God or whatever. I'm not getting into God.
that's too deep. It's not late enough. But,
we come back at 8 o'clock. Yeah, we'll dump it back.
Come back at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, we have that talk. We'll all have panic attacks. No, but about the afterlife. No, but yeah. So I think it's like there's the physical implications that it may have, but also there is the mental implications. And I think if your testosterone, it makes you have that kind of animalistic hunter mindset. Do you know what I mean? Naturally, you know what I mean? As males with testosterone, you're meant to be a hunter. You know what I mean? That's the thing. No one cares anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no one cares.
They do and they don't, but like everyone's more scared of offending people now than anything. Do you know
can't have a laugh. Yeah, that's why I love Ricky Gervais. You know that
Legend.
I absolutely love. He has not. Well, he has a filter, but too, and like he'll joke about everything to an extent, obviously. But like I don't know if you've ever seen like his Golden Globes and stuff. It's probably some of the best comedy I've ever seen. Like in like
so good.
The atmosphere that it was so brilliant.
Good.
You know,
he's one of the only comedians that has an exactly 50-50 mix of delivery and material. Some comedians, Jimmy Carr, right? His material. I thought I said Alan Carr for a second there. So I was like, so Jimmy Carr, right? Jimmy Carr has really good material, really witty, funny material, but I don't think he's that funny as a person. Do you know what I mean? I think he looks, as he says, he looks like a creepy puppet.
His character isn't a comedic character,
right?
yeah.
Then you look at Kevin Hart, right? Kevin Hart has fucking shit material, right? So my daughter came to me, she said, "Dad, we gotta go." I said, "No, she wasn't ready." Right? Kevin Hart does that, and it's everyone's in bits laughing. Yeah, it's because of he delivers it. He's the funny jumpy black man. I mean, that's what I said the last time with the last podcast. Like, oh, he's so funny, he's so out there, and he's so loud and small. Yeah. Whoa, how is he so loud but he's so small? Oh, ADHD. You know what I mean? But then you have the likes of Ricky Gervais, where his kind of it's not really that, is it? Like that kind of like witty sort of fucking going on. Like that kind of in-betweeners-esque type of, it's not really, is it? You know, that kind of thing in the in-betweeners, that's like really, it's a bit gay. That kind of thing that he has, that personality mixed with fucking genius comedy. He's definitely up there, and I lost interest in him for a while because he was every time I seen anything about him, it was just like, I'm so smart because I'm an atheist. I'm so smart because I'm an atheist. You're stupid because you're Catholic. Or you're stupid.
There's a lot of that as well.
And it's just sort of like, oh, why would you believe in a God? There's no God. Everyone should just be depressed all the time. That was annoying me. But then once I seen that Golden Globe speech, I was like, you are a fucking legend. Him and Louis C.K. are definitely in my top 3. I don't know if you've ever watched Louis C.K. A lot of Irish lads haven't. Louis C.K. is fucking hilarious, and he's so disgusting. The material that he comes out.
Do you ever see Frankie Boyle?
Frankie Boyle's great.
Wow,
yeah,
he is another,
yeah.
No filter, yeah.
What did he say about? He said something about a fucking joke about fucking Harvey Price. It was fucking gas. He said that Katie and Alex are gonna have to fight for custody of him, and he goes, one of them are gonna have to lose and keep him.
Well, he was just that Frankie Boyle.
Yeah, it was like
he was taken off Mock the Week for some of the jokes he was saying.
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Yeah, but now he's great though. I love him. But this comedy's great. As you know, I love fucking comedy. Comedy's just my baby. I like everything about the whole concept of it. Like, why don't we just all laugh at it? Yeah, it's just the best thing about it. It's like, it reminds me. I was recently watching the Harry Potters there with my girlfriend because she hasn't seen them. Weirdly enough, that's what I was saying. She had no intention. I'm gonna try to zoom up. If I can, but I'm gonna she had no intention of watching them. She was like, "No, they're shite." And then our mate was telling her, "No, like they're like," her mate has a key ring, like a 9 3/4 key ring and all, and she was just like, "No, I'm telling you, like they're like unreal." And my girlfriend was just like thinking that they're just gonna be all fantasy and dragons and magic, which they are, but they're fucking great. And so we watched them, and I completely forgot why I brought up Harry Potter.
Something to do with comedy.
Let's all laugh at it. Yeah, there was the creatures. I completely forgot. I was like, why the fuck am I talking about Harry Potter? There was these creatures in Harry Potter, and it was kind of, it's weird. There's a lot of side meanings to the things in Harry Potter as well. The Dementors are actually to simplify depression and stuff. Apparently, like that's what J.K. Rowling said, and or stuff like that are mental illnesses, because they do that and they suck your soul out, they suck your energy away, and they do symbolize it very well. But there's other things now, I forget the name of them, but they're there's a scene where they're in a wardrobe, and then they open it, and whatever it is, it's your worst fear that comes out.
I can't remember what it's called, but I know the one you're talking about.
And then you do whatever spell, and then everyone in the room has to laugh at it, and it gets so small and weak. And I think comedy kind of does, and it kind of ties back into that laughter is the best medicine thing. So have you got a few questions there?
I have a couple there. I won't release any names because of GDPR and all that jazz. There's three or so questions here asking about sponsorship. Right, funny story. So one day, this female, won't mention her name, followed our page, and next of all we got a copy and pasted message saying, "Hi guys, I am such and such. I love your clothes. They look amazing. I'd love to get them and share them to my followers. First of all, you have no idea what our clothes look like or feel like. You followed us 15 seconds ago. It took you 10 seconds to write a 12-line message. We know it's copy and pasted. Try harder next time."
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just like, if you like, maybe down the line, we're not like, we could be open to sponsors. Like, obviously, like, appreciate all the love that we're getting. We'd like to show some support back by obviously getting someone involved. But at the minute, just like, we're still growing, we're fairly small. Obviously that is a good tool to grow, but probably not right now.
I feel
definitely going forward, we probably will look for
I feel like it would be a decent time to do it now, but you don't want someone who's just going to be in it for the benefits. Not even free clothes, man. You know, they're in it for like the kind of the benefits, like the clout and all that jazz. But like, I feel like we want someone who kind of portrays our business in the lifestyle that we
genuinely
kind of live.
Interested in it.
Not someone who's just going to be like, "Oh, this is an up and coming gym company who needs someone to share their post for them. Oh, they'll get me free clothes. There you go. Sorry." Do you know what I mean? It's not. That's not how it works. And that's why I didn't like that whole copy and pasted message, where realistically all she was looking for was a free gym set to post into followers. Which, I'm not being bad, I have more followers than you love.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that.
But maybe definitely down the line we would look at it.
I feel like before the end of the year. Well, what are we in now? September. Before the end of the year, we may or may not have athletes up. So, if you're interested, keep the eyes posted.
Yeah, just don't copy and paste a fucking message over.
I swear to God, love, if I ever catch you out in the streets.
Is she low? No,
we'll leave her.
She knows. That's all you need to know. She knows.
If she's listening to this, she knows exactly who she is. Yeah. That's another one which ever sponsors. When are the Apex hoodies coming in? Ah, the hoodies.
Had a problem with the hoodies.
Okay.
Big problem.
So in the post here, they're thinking, yeah, they look grand. We'll get them in. We'll try them on. And you know the way like hoodies are supposed to kind of fit like decently. You know, like they're supposed to be like kind of a little bit loose and all this. This was like throwing bin bag on. It was absolutely stuck to me, like.
Yeah.
And your one fit half decent, didn't it?
Mine was fit half decent. It was a medium, but it was a small. Like, do you know what I mean? The size and the people, they just don't like. We tried to gauge the size as much as we could, but when we got it, it's not something we want to bring out in the market. And what the thing is about hoodies, your shipping goes through the roof. Like they're so pricey. Like we are bringing out a couple of jumpers and stuff.
Oh, just sneaky.
But we actually do. We have a bit of product here, don't we?
Stay tuned in for about 5 more minutes and you'll see that.
You might actually see a little bit of new stuff.
Yeah.
Higgs going to try it on, so stay tuned.
There's going to be a sudden transition where we're all in the same thing. Anyways, the hoodies, yeah, a little insight. When you're ordering stuff in bulk from suppliers, the main thing that affects the cost of shipping is the weight of the item, plus obviously with the country it's going to. Yeah. So I feel like hoodies, let's say hoodies weigh like 3/4 of a kilogram. If you're ordering say like 60-70 hoodies, that's going to add up, and it goes by the weight, you know what I mean? So what's the point in going all in for a few hoodies that, don't get me wrong, they will sell, but you're not going to sell out so quickly. That's where you have to market them more, stuff like that. We're not going to have the funds to do that then, you know what I mean? So I find a lot of people just look and say like, oh, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, they should be doing that. But I feel like what we're doing systematically and tactically is the best things that we can be doing at the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially because of how, like, again, you probably don't even realise, or no one else realises how new of a business these are. Like, you know what I mean? Most people, most people are losing money for the first 3-4 years of a business, and then before they even break even. And I know you're by choice not spending, which is the thing you should be doing. But like, you start making incredible progress. You know what I mean? So that's
appreciate. Thank you.
You should keep up what you're doing, because as well, you'll have people saying that they like your stuff and all, but like sometimes it takes an outside perspective. You are doing really good, so well done.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having us as well, my man.
I appreciate it.
No bother.
We'll jump us back on in about 5 years' time, and
that's it. When you're running 100,000.
We'll invite you into the Apex HQ. We'll take it to the top floor. We'll have the views and all.
Yeah, on the balcony. Yeah.
I don't really want to see this question. Have a look at that one.
Yeah, we'll leave that one out for now. Yeah.
Aaron McDonald, if you're watching this, you are a spud, mate. Honestly, you're a spud. We'll leave that question.
We had another one there. It was like, what's your new and upcoming product? So we will dive into it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that anyway.
What's going on? So this is what we've brought for Hig today for having the podcast.
I'll leave the OnlyFans in the description if you want to see it.
Yeah, he sent us a couple of pictures about what he likes to wear, and the first one was a bra. So we brought him one. So this is the training bra that we're bringing out. This is size small. This is actually a good way to gauge our size and stuff, because a lot of people are asking us like, hey, you know, how does this fit? What type of size is that? So we're going to cut it now and we'll come back and this will be on Hig, yeah? No, real talk. So this is a 3-piece set, okay? The price yet to be disclosed. We will get into it. Obviously not going to be nearly as expensive as the other stuff on the market. Yeah?
Gymshark.
This is the bra. Then we'll also come in with you have a drum roll sound effect here. Shorts. Can you believe it?
Nice high waisted, nice shape around the arse.
You can see the
they will make your arse pop.
And then we have obviously a super high quality logo that will not wash off or fade. Now, you're sweating in the gym. That's obviously coming in the winter. You might get a little bit chilly. You're gonna bang on your legging sets. Same type of style. Absolutely, yeah, small, nice bit of detail, attention to detail here. We have, a breathable pocket down at the end here. You can get the air through. Hig is just dying to try these on. I can see it in his eyes. He's just staring at them. They're burning a hole in them nearly.
That's it.
And then obviously the Apex on the back. So that's just a little sneak peek coming out in 3 colours: grey, blue, and black.
Black would be Leo.
Black would be really
Stay tuned.
Yeah, but actually, this is my favourite colour. Especially like really makes my arse pops when I put it on. So. Yeah.
To be honest, me and Jake. We'll disclose a little bit of information here.
Go on ahead.
Me and Jake, when we get products on, we like to try them on ourselves just to make sure that it doesn't rip. And that's been the comfiest one that I've ever tried on. So.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
That doesn't really happen, by the way, just in case anyone thought.
I thought it did. Jokes aside, I thought you just had to like.
I'll actually disclose a bit of real information. The 4 sets we got, remember the grey and the blue ones? Yeah. I may or may not have tried them on. Just not the full set. I tried the leggings on and sent them to Jake as a joke.
That's a joke. He said no.
That's a joke. They were still on him when I came over to discuss business at about 6 o'clock that night. So.
Listen, they made the arse look nice. I had to keep them on. Someone asks, "Are you doing girls' t-shirts?" Shirts, dude.
I just got sunburned. T-shirts.
Are we doing girls' t-shirts? Yeah, because like as you say, don't get me wrong, the sets that we do have always great. You know what I mean? But not a lot of girls will like to wear the bra just on their own. So most girls that I do see in, like, say the gym that I'm in, or say the gym that Jake's in, who are wearing them, they always have a t-shirt on over them. So why not make it our t-shirt instead of like a Nike or an Under Armour t-shirt? We have been looking at it. Don't get me wrong, we've had a lot of other things on the agenda at the moment though, so I don't feel like it's something that's a main priority, but it will be there. It's just a matter of timing, you know what I mean?
And then hopefully it could be the short sleeve or the long sleeve. So comment down below what you'd like, you know what I'm saying?
Bang.
Any more questions?
Oh, went out in. Oh no,
that was good.
Hold on. Oh, God. Give me 2 seconds there. Sorry, there's some technical difficulties here. AKA I'm a spud. There we go. What can we expect for future releases? So we're not going to show anything obviously because we don't have it on hand at the moment. Fall winter range, you could expect some crew neck jumpers. So like, you know, the kind of it's very nice for kind of like warming up in, or even if you're just kind of cruising around in the fall winter seasons. So yeah, we were thinking about bringing out bottoms.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like we have a lot more stuff on the way as well, and a lot more sampling coming around. So like we were thinking like we need to leave a bit of finance to the side in case, as we mentioned earlier, what happened with the t-shirts, they came, didn't fit at all, so we had to pay to have measurements redone. Yeah. Same thing, if it happens again, we're going to need to have a little bit of money there to make sure that we can actually afford it, you know what I mean? Yeah, so if everything goes well and all goes as planned, bottoms could be released, we'd say November, December time. They are on the agenda more than a girl's t-shirt will be, so bit of luck there, it'll be out.
And listen, we're open, our books are open, like we're always looking for new products, new things. This isn't the end all be all, you know, there's going to be more following this. So like, as I said, you know, promote Hick's channel, promote us, few comments down below. What would you like to see? Even if you don't even know who we are, what do you wear? Do you wear t-shirts? Do you wear long sleeve t-shirts? Are you a girl? Are you a boy?
Do you wear vests?
See a man tongue?
Not yet, maybe next year.
Anyway, but you never know what could happen. We may
diversify
into some, you know, Apex Summers. You know what I'm saying? We could change it.
Spring, summer 2021. Look
anyway,
for the jock
long story short, if you want to see all this, you want to get with the movement, because we're not just a business, we are a movement. You can check that handle out at apex.lifestyle_ on Instagram. And thank you, Hick.
Thank you, lads,
for having us.
For coming. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a great chat, great podcast, and
I'd agree.
Absolutely.
And I'll definitely be getting some new stuff that he's bringing. I'm looking forward for the crew next.
As you all should as well.
As you all should, yeah. Use Hig5 for 5%.
You never know.
Forced Apex athlete over here.
And the website drops. Keep tuned for that as well.
Oh, tease them. I like it.
That's it. Now, big things coming down the line, lads. These are doing great things, and hopefully second year now is 500% bigger than the first year, and
absolutely
the growth is
back with yourself as well, man. You know, up the numbers.
It's been a pleasure, and nice one for coming on, and nice one for everyone who's tuning in again every week. And we'll see you next week. I'm not sure what I've got on next week, but we'll get that bridge when we cross it and all that, or we'll cross that bridge when we come to it unwrecked. Sorry about me. Go on, stay off the steroids because they fuck with your head. Good luck.